Welcome to Release Your Potential Now with Jane, your weekly dose of energy, wisdom, and healing, where we explore how energy shapes your life and how you can shift it to thrive in every area physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Each week, we'll dive into practical tools, real-world examples, and quantum energy perspectives to help you stay positive, navigate challenges, and reclaim your personal power. Whether you're dealing with stress, seeking balance, or curious about the energetic world around you, this is your space for insight, growth, and transformation.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Release Your Potential Now. I'm your host, Jane Phillips, medical intuitive, psychic medium, and energy guide. So I'm so glad you joined me today. So today's episode is one of my favorites of the entire year because we're talking about something truly special, which is the Lionsgate portal. So if you've been feeling a sense of urgency, expansion, or deep reflection lately, this energy is likely already working with you. In this episode, we're going to explore what the Lionsgate portal actually is, why it matters, and how to use this energy to activate your intuition, your power, and manifest your desires. So let's settle in. Why don't you grab a notebook, because you know I always give tips for you, and let's talk about this portal. So the Lionsgate portal, what is it? It's a cosmic event that occurs every year, peaking on August 8th, but it doesn't just happen on one day. The energy begins to open around July 26th, so it's already opened, and reaches its peak on August 8th, 8/8, and closes around August 12th. So why is this such a big deal? This is a celestial alignment between the Earth and the star Sirius, also known as our spiritual sun, and the sun in Leo. We're in the Leo time now. And during this time, Sirius rises in the sky, aligning with Orion's belt, and becomes visible just before sunrise. And this moment has been revered by ancient cultures, including the Egyptians, as a time of divine connection, rebirth, and soul activation. So energetically, what it does is it opens a massive gateway of light. It's like a cosmic portal where high frequency energy floods the earth, activating our hearts, awakening our intuition to a higher level, and magnifying our power to manifest. So why the number 8/8? The number 8 in numerology symbolizes infinity. If you turn it sideways, it's the infinity sign. Abundance, and I carry an 8 in my wallet for financial abundance. A lot of people use August as a financial abundance. It also symbolizes power and balance. So when the sun is in Leo, a sign ruled by the heart and symbolizing the lion, we're also called to embody courage, leadership, and soul sovereignty. So this is one of the most potent times of the year to let go of fear, reconnect with your higher self, and declare what you want to create moving forward. So I just actually learned about the Lionsgate last year. So if you're just learning about it, or you might be one of those people that have been tracking it for years, I was not one of those. I learned about it last year, and it proved to be a very powerful time for me. So while we're in the opening of the Lionsgate now, be sure to mark your calendar for August 8th when it is fully opened and the day when the Lionsgate portal is most powerful. This is a day to celebrate your soul's growth and place your energy fully into what you're calling in. This peak window of manifestation deserves your attention. From there, from the 8th, the portal slowly begins to close and fully wraps up and is closed at the end of August 8th, which is next Tuesday, and it won't return again until next year when Sirius is aligned with the belt of Orion. So what does this all mean for your life right now? So if you feel like you're standing on the edge of change, or you've been called to speak up and stand out or start something new, your intuition, your guidance has been calling to you louder than usual. And if you're feeling extra emotional, vulnerable, or reflective, and that happens to be me during this time period, which I find a little bit off-putting when I want to be doing podcasts and some of this, but it's the fact, it's the Lionsgate is creating that for me and for others. You might be feeling emotional, vulnerable, or reflective. You're not alone. The Lionsgate energy amplifies everything that needs to shift so that you can now step into a better version of yourself. Think of it like an energetic spotlight shining on both your power and your resistance. So it's time to get radically honest. What are you holding back? What dreams have you buried? What parts of you are ready to be seen? This is a moment to let go of the stories that no longer serve you and align your thoughts, energy, and actions with the reality you want to create. So I'm going to be covering some journal prompts today again, but before we dive into the journal prompts, I want to share 2 energetic principles that can help you better understand why this process of reflection and clearing is so important, especially during a high frequency portal like this one. So there is something called the laws of the codex, C-O-D-E-X. And codex has a meaning in Latin. It talks about a tree trunk. And how this came about, or the laws of the codex, is we used to have scrolls. When we wanted to read information, we had a scroll that we would open up and declare and read. And that's how information was passed along. And the idea of the codex came about when all of a sudden we were creating books, bound books to pass information along. And they started out being carved on tree trunks, right? And being bound. And eventually we got to paper. But the word codex is used for coding. It's some of the AI people use it as coding ideas, but it has several meanings. And the book of the codex, or the laws, come from a book of codex, which have 18 laws of the codex, which are like spiritual laws of how the universe works. So I wanted to cover 2 of these today. I listened to a podcast where all of these were listed, and I wrote them down and typed them up so I could reflect on them. But it's basically how the world works in a universal way. It's not exactly perfect, but it gives us a lot of ideas and probably things you've already heard. But the first law I'm only covering 2 of them in the 18 laws of the codex, is the law of still precedence. So this law says stillness precedes creation. Motion without stillness creates distortion. So what the heck does that mean? So in simple terms, it means that in order to create something that's clear and aligned and true for you, we must begin from a place of inner stillness. So if you and I are constantly in motion, reacting, rushing, or carrying scattered energy, what we create may feel chaotic, unclear, and disconnected. So before you write or dream or take action, you need to get quiet so that you can bring in the intuition that you need to create your goals. So take a few quiet breaths when you're ready to figure some things out and find the stillness. Let your body settle down and your thoughts slow. And this doesn't always happen right away. And if you're in a place that's really, you want to create something and you're really distracted, this may still not be the right time to do it because you have too many outside things. Maybe you've got kids and the kids are creating a lot of activity. Maybe you're in a busy workplace. Pick a time when you have a little breathing room and let your body settle and your thoughts slow. And then from this calm place, your desires can surface more clearly and they'll carry the resonance of truth and alignment for you. So the second law of Codex that I want to share, it's not necessarily in the order that they're there. There are 18 of them. But this is the law of phase, Phase, integrity, the law of phase integrity. And this law says it's similar, but it's a different variation to what we just discussed about stillness. This law says when inner and outer phase match, the field stabilizes. When they differ, the field fractures. Again, what the heck does that mean? It means that your energy field becomes stable, powerful, and magnetic when your inner world, your thoughts, intentions, and emotions match your outer actions and choices. So when there's a mismatch, when you say you want clarity, but your actions are rushed, or when you want abundance, but your thoughts are rooted in fear, that mismatch weakens your field, makes it harder to manifest what you truly want. You have differing beliefs. They're not in coherence, and you're very likely to not receive good guidance or the answers that you want that move you toward your goal, or even helping you understand what your desires are. And so I wanted to do some journaling, and this is why journaling during this Lionsgate portal is so powerful, because it forces you to slow down. It brings awareness to those hidden mismatches so you can align what you think, feel, and do. And when your inner and outer world are in harmony, in coherence, manifestation becomes not only possible, but inevitable. Now, I want to take you through 4 powerful journal prompts to help you access the deeper layers of this energy. So you don't have to write things down right now, but I would say grab a piece of paper if you can while you're listening, or something to write in. I'm a big believer in journals. But listen to what I'm saying, and if you're on replay, you can pause the replay and do this whole exercise then. Listen in, let the questions land that I'm offering in your heart, and then come back to them later if you want to go deeper. You might be able to write now, or you might just want the journal prompts now. So here's the first journal prompt for you. What do I want to manifest in my life right now? What do you want to manifest in your life right now? But the prompt is, what do I want to manifest in my life right now? This isn't just a mental exercise. If you're calm and you've done your breathing, feel into it. What excites you? What lights you up? Don't censor anything. Don't say you can't have something. Just write down what you really want. And sometimes we don't know what we really want. And maybe what we really want is clarity. You want to manifest clarity around what you want in your life. Let your desires come through without judgment, no limitation. Oh, but I can't have that. Or some past voice from somebody else that said you'll never be this, or you can't have that, or you're thinking too grandly. all of that. Write down your thoughts. What do I want to manifest right now? And believe that they're available to you, that they already exist out there somewhere. You may not know how they're going to show up, and that's not the point of this. The point of this first prompt is to get what you want, what your desires are, really, truly, down on paper. So the second prompt for your journal is, what fears or doubts do I need to release to fully embrace my potential? What fears or doubts do you need to release to fully embrace your potential? We all have blocks. The Lion's Gate invites you to name them. Thank them. And what you're doing is you're thanking them for becoming into your awareness. And then once you've become aware of what the blocks or doubts are, let them go. And that is not an easy thing. So you might have some protocols or things that you do to let things go. Sometimes I imagine that I have all my doubts and I bundle them up and I throw them in a hot air balloon and I let it ascend to the sky and I watch them leave. Sometimes I've done a burning ritual where I take pieces of paper or I have everything written on one piece and I put it in a bowl that is fireproof or a can, and I go outside and I say, I'm releasing these through fire. So you can burn the fears and doubts that you have and see if that helps release them. May not get them all, but it's a conscious start. Let that energy be seen. The inner voice that says you're not ready or you can't do it, consciously choose to release it. And your third journal prompt: how can I better connect with my higher self during this time? And higher self also means intuition, or your guidance, or your guides, or your angels, whatever. But how can I better connect with these energies during this time? Your guides, your angels, your higher self, your soul is always available. What practices help you feel most aligned? Is it meditation? Or perhaps it's time in nature? Is it music? For some people, music just feeds their soul. And it could be calming music. I prefer the meditative type. But it could be energetic music. Could be some sort of rock or other music that inspires you. So does journaling help you feel aligned? Now we're doing some journaling prompts here, but you may journal in other ways daily. One of the things that I do is I try to journal daily. It doesn't always happen. But sometimes my journaling is talking to my guides and saying, I need some information or guidance. I'm stuck. Sometimes it's talking to a loved one who's passed. Sometimes it's just getting out all the stuff that's stuck in my head of the things I need to do and getting it out on paper so I can make good discernment on what's next. So, what support do you need to make this connection with your guides and your higher self stronger? And then the fourth prompt: what steps can I take to align my daily actions with my soul's purpose? Why am I here? What steps can I take to align my actions with my soul's purpose? And this is where the magic happens. It's not just about dreaming, it's about doing. And I have a lot of friends. I'm in my 70s. I have a lot of friends in their 30s. And soul's purpose, when I was in my 30s, was like, I don't know what that is. And I'm finally in a place where I do know a lot more. So You may not exactly know what your soul's purpose is, but your soul knows. Your guidance knows. So even if you're not clear about what that soul's purpose is, your guidance, the angels all know. So trust that some of the steps you're taking now will put you in alignment. I have a little story that I want to share at this point about me and how this showed up for me in hindsight. So I took a class in my 30s that was meditative and stretching and choosing goals and all of that. And it was a 7-week class that met every other week. So it was 14 weeks, but we met 7 weeks of it. And we had to talk about what we wanted. And I didn't know, but I made some goals and got some results of that. But in the meantime, what I was doing for a living was I was a mortgage lender. So I started out being kind of back in the scenes as an operations person, and I ended up in sales. And I felt all of a sudden that I needed to be in sales, and I ended up being a mortgage loan officer for a company that I had to actually fight to get into because they thought the president of the company knew me, and he saw me as kind of the bean counter type. And I was saying I wanted to be a salesperson. And it took a while. It took a couple of weeks for me to like really embrace it. But I eventually got that job, and I did that for 30 years. So this whole time I'm wondering if this is what I'm really supposed to be doing, but I'm doing the other. I finally get an intuitive hit that I am done with mortgage banking. I end up taking coaching classes. I end up taking medical intuitive classes. I end up moving from Minnesota to New Mexico and starting my own business. And as the years have progressed, I've been doing this for 15 to 20 years. I realized that all of the steps that I took, learning to be self-employed, to be a 100% commission salesperson, to learn how to generate business, to learn how to market, all of those things were crucial for what I needed to do to be able to talk to you today. I'm an extreme introvert. When I would go to a mortgage meeting, I would be in trouble because I had to talk about myself. So figure out what steps you take that will bring you closer in life to what you want to live. So how to integrate all this into Lionsgate energy? Create a daily ritual. Maybe you light a candle. Maybe you say your intentions out loud or journal for 5 minutes, but do something to move you forward. Keep active, move your body, dance, speak your truth. Leo energy is about bold expression. What do you need to say? And then trust what you receive. Notice what's coming through in those quiet moments. Intuition is heightened right now. Write down your dreams, signs, and synchronicities, and celebrate yourself. So thanks so much for joining me for this very special Lionsgate episode. I hope you feel inspired and expanded and more deeply connected to your soul's power. Don't forget to visit janecphillips.com for more tools, offerings, and upcoming classes. And if you found this episode helpful, I'd be so grateful if you'd share it with a friend or leave a review. Next week on August 12th, as the Lionsgate portal closes, we'll delve into the follow-up, which is clearing the static and how to receive divine guidance. We'll be going into more tools on how you get guided, and we'll explore how to quiet the noise and trust what your intuition is trying to tell you. So until then, stay radiant, stay open to whatever comes, and keep shining. Thank you I'm Jane Phillips.
You've been listening to Release Your Potential Now with Jane, your weekly dose of energy wisdom and healing. Tune in on Transformation Talk Radio to unlock the power of energy healing and transform your life one insight at a time. Share this episode with a friend who's feeling stuck and might benefit from a little extra support on their journey. Together, we can create a ripple effect of healing and positivity, empowering individuals to live healthier, more joyful lives. Are you ready to gain control of your life and health? Then visit janecphillips.com to book a session, join a workshop, or explore how energy wisdom can help you heal and thrive.